Hello and welcome to another video brought to you by AllFreeBeadedJewelrymaking.com and KeepsakeCrafts.net. Today I'm going to show you how to make this necklace with this specialty carved wooden bead pendant. I'll be showing you in this video some ideas for taking an old piece of jewelry, perhaps one that you made when you didn't know as much about jewelry making, which is my case with this one, or perhaps you picked it up at a yard sale or found it somewhere and you just like some elements and want to change others. I'll give you some ideas and tips for how you can do that. So the lovely thing about making your own jewelry and having those skills is that you can rework things when your tastes change or your skills improve. This necklace I made about 8 years ago. I was given this carved, really cute cat bead by a friend and built this necklace around it. And I was very happy with it at the time, and I still kind of like it. But I've learned a few things since I made this, and I think I've gotten a little better with my design sense. So I want to change a few things. First of all, the way I really had no idea how to put this cat on here. I didn't know anything about wire work and how to wire up a pendant. So I think I'm going to take this cat off and use a head pin and some beads and make a proper pendant out of it. This is just looks like some yarn or something that I used. Also, I pretty much like the way these beads work with the cat. I love these yellow ones. But I think that I don't need as much around the back. And so I think at some point up here I'm going to stop the beads and add some chain and a lobster clasp. And that way I'll be able to make the necklace adjustable, which if you've watched any of my videos you know is something important to me. So here you can see I've gone ahead and taken the cat off this little bit of ribbon that I had it on. And I've gotten a decorative head pin, although it really doesn't have to be. And then I decided to fill in that space. It's kind of an odd shaped bead. So I decided to fill in that space above where I'm going to make a wrapped loop just with some little seed beads. I tried to use these again, but they really were too big in proportion to the cat. Kind of took away from it. So I strung on the seed beads until they reach just about the cat's head. And then I'm going to make a wrapped loop like I've shown you many times before with chain nose pliers and round nose pliers. Hold your pliers right above the last bead. Be careful, those are glass beads, so you can crush them with your pliers. Make a 90-degree bend. Tuck your round nose pliers right in that bend. Start to make a loop. Go as far as you can. That's about as far as you can get. Reposition your pliers. Funky bead out of the way. Finish the loop. And then I like to leave the pliers right in there. It's a little awkward with this shaped bead. And then do a wrap. Get yourself some nice close cut wire cutters. And then use your chain nose pliers to tuck in that end. Try not to crush my seed bead. So there's our little cat pendant. I think that looks a lot nicer than the way I had it before. Now the next step is to take these beads off of the bead stringing wire that they're on. I happen to like this pattern, so I'm going to do it carefully and try to keep them in order. Because I just want to stop right about here. So I'm just going to take my wire cutters And then of course now you've got more beads for another project. So let's see if we can just keep these in order. Just leave them on your little mat. My bead stringing board won't actually fit in my space for photography, so otherwise I would recommend that's what you do. You just pull these right apart on your bead stringing board, and then they'll stay right in that nice little channel. So to change up this necklace a bit, as I mentioned, I'm going to have chain instead of beads all the way around to the back. It'll make it hang a little nicer and also conserve beads. So I have two approximately 6-inch lengths of chain, and I've attached split rings to each end, and on one of those I put a lobster clasp, and I saved the last one to show you how to use split ring pliers. A split ring is basically a jump ring that goes around. It's kind of like a keychain, really, where it goes around twice instead of just once. And you have these special pliers with this little tooth, and you can just pop that tooth right near where one of the wires ends, and then you can slide on what you need. They're a pain. I mean, jump rings are obviously a lot easier to use, but split rings are far more secure. I found that the wire from the bead stringing wire would actually slip through these chains, so I really needed to use a split ring. So once you get your piece begun on the split ring, I like to grab it with a pair of chain nose pliers, and like I said, it's just like putting a key on a keychain. Just spin it the rest of the way around. Then you're going to cut yourself a nice long piece of beading wire. I'd much rather have a piece that's a little bit too long and have to cut off excess than have a piece that's too short and run out, because that just makes you crazy. Slide on a crimp bead. Slide on one end of your chain, or well, the split ring, and then go back through the crimp bead. So get your wires parallel inside that crimp bead so they're lying flat next to each other, not crossed. And these are crimping pliers, and if you look at the shapes, I can hold that so you can see, there's one that's a U shape, and what you want is a wire to be on each side of that U. So we're going to start with that side. There we go. Give it a nice squeeze. Then switch to the other side, which is just kind of round oval shape. Grab that crimp bead, squish it again. Now, always very important at this point, go ahead and give that a good strong tug, because you don't want that to go anywhere. If it pulls out, pull it off and redo it. So now I'm going to go ahead and start stringing all of my beads, and I'll string my pendant on in the middle. So I've gone ahead and strung on my beads, and by the way, when I strung these first few at this end next to the crimp, I made sure and slid the beads over both wires, the wire end and the long wire, so that that wire end is tucked under these first several beads. So to finish it up, we're just going to slide on our crimp bead, slide on one of the split rings for our other piece of chain, and then back through the crimp bead. And then I'm just going to repeat, a little more than that, what I did last time with the crimping pliers. Tuck this extra wire in through here, and it'll be all done. So here's another look at the necklace that we made. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to check out keepsakecrafts.net for more jewelry and crafting ideas and inspiration. Have a good one.